Oh, hello. My name is Armand Villamoria. I read the book Into Thin Air, written by Jon Krakauer. Jon Krakauer, author and mountain climber, is hired by Outside Magazine to write an article about the commercialism on Mount Everest. Krakauer decides that he wants to climb the mountain and joins the most disastrous Everest expedition in history. Krakauer joins the climbing service called Adventure Consultants, guided by Rob Hall. The guide service is intended to speed up the acclimatization process and guide the climbers successfully to the summit of Mount Everest. The climb is structured into camps: Base Camp, Camp 1, Camp 2, Camp 3, and Camp 4. After spending weeks at Base Camp, the group makes a number of trips to the other camps to speed up the acclimatization process. In the beginning of May, the group makes a push to the summit. Throughout the climb, Krakauer details his teammates, his guides, and other expeditions on the mountain. He tries to piece together a continuous timeline of the events that take place in the weeks they are on the mountain. All of the clients have difficulty adjusting to the altitude, tiring easily, losing weight, and moving slowly. The climbers' experience in mountain climbing and at high altitudes varies. Some of them are quite qualified, others are very inexperienced, and highly reliant on the guides. Despite a number of mishaps, the first death does not occur until Chapter 11. From that point on, though, death is something that all the climbers become familiar with. The actual summit push is when everything begins to fall apart. Rob Hall appoints a 2 p.m. turnaround time, meaning that everyone who has not actually reached the summit by then must turn around, no matter how close he or she is. That day, only Krakauer and a few other climbers made it to the top before 2 p.m. Members of his group reached the top as late as 4 p.m. The turnaround time is not enforced. Among the later arrivals to the top is Rob Hall and another member, Doug Hansen. They arrived just behind another climber group guided by Scott Fisher. A storm hits the summit that afternoon, and Krakauer catches only the tail end of it before he successfully reaches the refuge of Camp 4. Krakauer is well ahead of most of his teammates and has no idea what lies in store for them. Hall and Hansen get stranded. Hansen runs out of supplemental oxygen and cannot continue. Another group gets lost in the blizzard, and later, an assistant guide rescues all but 2 of them. The remaining 2 are left, presumably dead. With influences of culture, history, fears, and myths on outdoor adventure activities, Grow Through Adventure is a class that allows for development of values and understanding of self through outdoor adventure activities. In the book, Hall, Hansen, Krakauer, and the rest of the team do just that. Having some members that are more experienced, whereas there's others who are not experienced, each person was challenged to new heights. Throughout the numerous outdoor adventure activities that we went on, I came to the realization that we were both challenged mentally and physically. For example, during our ropes course, we were put into situations where we had to rely on one another to complete a task. Like we were able to rely on our peers to help us complete tasks and challenges, the members of the adventure consultants relied on their guides and Sherpas to help them get to the top of Mount Everest safely. I believe that in order to fully understand and comprehend the definition of adventure, one must go on an adventure for oneself. Adventure is something that's spontaneous, something that's daring, something that's exciting, something that's fun. Adventure can be done with anyone. It can be done with your mother, your father, grandfather, dog, cat, fish, whoever it may be. Adventure allows us to experience things that we wouldn't necessarily experience, whether it be, from doing vigorous activities like mountain biking and skiing and rock climbing and whitewater rafting and all of that, to, doing everyday things that you don't necessarily think are adventure, like, going and introducing yourself to your new next door neighbors, or, holding a door open for a stranger you've just met, or, doing something like just saying hi to someone while you're waiting to get on the Muni. All of that's adventure, and it challenges you to, do things that you're not necessarily comfortable with or that you would not necessarily, do on an everyday basis. After taking this class, I have many personal plans for adventure. This summer, my family and I will be traveling to Cuba for 3.5 weeks to get immersed in the Cuban culture and learn more about the Cuban lifestyle. Besides traveling to Cuba, this summer I hope that I'm able to go on more micro-adventures with my friends and family members. This class has taught me a lot about who I am as a person, and has taught me to grow both inside the classroom and outside of the classroom, and to grow from the little experiences as well as the big. It has been an honor to take this class, and I am forever grateful to Ben and the rest of you for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful class.